Hi there, it's Nick Dutch back on the camera again one more time. Hi there, how the heck's it going? I know you've missed me as I've been away for such a long period of time. You know, time without Nick Dutch is like not worth living, I know, but either way, I'm back, so chill out, it's all gonna be okay. This is another video about a comment that I've received, a private message I've received from a YouTube user who, shall I mention them, shall I not? I can mention them, and the reason I can mention them is this is not like an unpleasant, really screaming and shouting video. It's more like talking, entering into like dialogue, conversation, communication, and so on and so forth. The YouTube user is TC2642, who sent me a message saying, I've just been watching this fella, link is to an All Babies Are Atheists video, and it says here, I would love to hear your response on what he's saying. I do remember you saying on some of your previous videos that you think atheism, or possibly certain sections of it, is essentially a political movement, which I tend to disagree with, or have I misinterpreted you? Now, what should I be responding to? Should I be responding to All Babies Are Atheists, or should I be responding about the private message that I've received, which actually makes some presuppositions and appears to me to have misunderstood a few important and key concepts, which I think is quite important to fully understand if one is to engage at all with society and people in a kind of like meaningful way. Firstly, what does it mean to be political? What is politics? Okay, politics is the sphere of human activity whereby individuals attempt to resolve their differences. Here on YouTube, what do you see? You see people trying to resolve their differences. So what is YouTube? To a great degree, not entirely, but to a great degree, is a forum whereby people are trying to resolve their differences, and it's therefore political. Okay, so everything that's broadcast will have, to a certain degree, a variety of political message. I think it was one of the original feminists, political people, I can't remember which one, it wasn't Pankhurst, it was one of the ones after her, said the person is political. Now, that's a statement which says that everything about you is part of some kind of message. It could be a bigger message, it could be a smaller message, it could be a message to do with you and what you want for society, or you and what you want for yourself, or how you act against other people, and so on and so forth. I'm sure you've heard the phrase office politics before. Okay, it might sound a bit oxymoronic, a bit self-contradictory. Okay, but office politics is where people try and resolve their differences within the working environment. Okay, but it's still forms of political action. Now, there's a wide variety of political actions that can actually be taken. There is, of course, the physical, there's the military, but also there's the psychological. I'm sure you've heard it in the news within recent years, the idea of the battle for hearts and minds in certain parts of the world. Now, what's that talking about? That's talking about politics. It's talking about trying to change people's ideas, perceptions, and prejudices and allegiances, and therefore to act politically. Here on YouTube, what you see there is a lot of videos which have an effect upon people because it's very emotive. And when something is very emotive, it is automatically, to a certain degree, political, because it's there to cause some form of change, no matter how slight. Now, it could be an antagonistic video, or it could be more challenging ideas. Or alternatively, it could be purely emotive and pulling on people's heartstrings. Okay, but all of these things are in fact forms of political action. And if you've got a group of people and they're expressing themselves, okay, in a manner which has an influence upon others, no matter how big or small, that is political. Now, if atheism is a movement, or there is a new atheist movement, so to speak, this movement will have no choice apart from to be political. Full stop. Because people are challenging people. Alright? It is a political movement. Not necessarily in terms of socialist or conservative or Republican and Democrat and all the rest of that kind of stuff. It's not party political. It's not office political. But there is a form of social politics going on there. Now, you might think, no, atheists are not part of a group. Well, let's think about that in greater detail as well. Let's think about all the people who live in New York City, for instance. Just New York City. They may have different religions, come from different cultures, speak different languages, have different colour skin, and different customs, come from different family groups, come from different parts of the world. They may come from different classes, may have different possessions, alright, may use different slang. They may be as diverse as you like, but they're still part of one singular group, aren't they? The group of people who live in New York City. And they may even have some kind of local pride or form of, almost like a form of nationalism for New York, of which some will have more of it, some will have less of it, some will have it for different reasons, and so on and so forth. But it might still be there, and not amongst all of them. But the group of people who live within New York City will still exist. Okay, so if there are people who call themselves atheists, they may be as diverse as you like, but they're still part of a group. So essentially, the group exists, and the individuals in them, because they've got values, and because they communicate about their values in whatever manner they see fit, including here on the internet, they are political. Therefore, we can say that that atheism is very political. Alright? There are, by my estimation, some individuals within the atheist community, because if something's a community, there's going to be politics associated with it anyway, so that's another label which shows us that there is politics there, okay? And there will be some individuals there who will become more passionate, more emotional, more emotive. And they will be trying to change hearts and minds, or trying to cause some kind of issues between individuals, or indeed on a larger group. And therefore they are trying to act like politicians. Therefore they are political. Now, for anyone to disagree with that, they would have to completely misunderstand what the word politics actually means. And I stand by my claim that no matter what, and I mean no matter what, atheism is political. I would also say that there would be a particular subset of that group, which I would call political atheism, which in my opinion would be slightly different. And yes, that is a label I have coined myself, okay? And that deals with individuals who wish to act much more politically, such as Thunderthirds, Pat Condell, and so on and so forth. That's my opinion for today.